Okay, for reference, I was joking about the free Starbucks in Dutch. To make my life easier, I'm just gonna upload this to YouTube and edit the link, the video, so that you can only access it if I email you the link. Just to make it easier, because I think the file will be too big to send over email. So yeah. First, we're gonna go through this first problem. A nurse is preparing to administer Cephalocor 40 milligrams per kilograms per day, PO, divided in equal doses every 8 hours to a child who weighs 48 pounds. Available is Cephalocor suspension, 375 milligrams per 5 ml. How many ml should the nurse administer per dose? Round the answer to the nearest tenth. So first, we're gonna break down our problem. So we're preparing to administer 4 mg per kg per day, and it's divided in equal doses every 8 hours. And then the patient weighs 48 pounds. And then available is 375 mg per 5 ml. And we're gonna be rounding to the nearest tenth. Okay, so first, everybody, I'm just gonna preference, everybody learns a different way. I learned your desired over have times volume. So that's the way I learned. So on the top is gonna be what you're ordered to do, which is gonna be that 40 mg per kg per day. And then have is gonna be available. And then volume, it's usually in mLs. Okay, so the first step is we need to convert our patient's weight into kilograms. So you're going to do 48 divided by 2.2, which should be 21.8 kgs. Okay, so our dose is per mg per kg. So you're gonna times 21.8 by 40 mg, okay? And then together, it's gonna get you 872.7272. And then it's gonna say divide, and it's saying to divide. Okay, hold up. Okay, so this is our ordered. So you'll divide this number by 375 mg, and that will give, because this is your available, and then you will divide that by 375, which should give you 2.327, and you're gonna times it by volume. Okay, so we're gonna multiply this by 5 ml, since that's our suspension. And it should equal 11.6363. And since it's divided equally, so just keep in mind, every time it says divided equally, we have to divide our final answer by how many hours. So you'll do 24, just to find out this amount. You'll do 24, because there's 24 hours in a day, and it's every 8 hours. So you'll divide 24 by 8. So we'll and that's 3. So we'll divide our final answer by 3. And that will give us 3.8787667. Okay, so then we're rounding to the nearest tenth. So this is your whole number place, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Okay, so we're rounding this number. So you'll look at this number. So it is 7. So just keep in mind, 5 and up, you will round up. And then anything below 5, you will keep the same. And that is always our rule. So since it is a 7, you're going to round your final answer to 3.9 mLs. And that's going to be your final answer. And I'm just going to highlight it so we know. Oops. Yeah. Okay, I dropped the highlighter. So this is going to be our final answer. Okay, so let's work on the second problem. A nurse is preparing to administer, I'm not even going to bother pronouncing that, intramuscular to a client who weighs 176 pounds. The medication reference states that the safe dosage range is 7.5 to 15 mg per kg per day, divided every 12 hours. What is the maximum safe dose the nurse should expect to administer per day? Round to the nearest whole number. Okay, we are going to do the same thing and break down our problem. Luckily, this one is a little different. It's not, it is weight-based, but it's not trying to find like this. So you're going to do patient weighs 176 pounds, the safe dosage range, and we're looking for maximum safe dose. So we won't be using the number 7.5, we'll be using 15 mg per kg per day. And it's saying every 12 hours. I learned you only do it when it says divided equally. So it shouldn't be divided equally, it just says every 12 hours. But I will also do it just in case, because I know Patel likes to word his problems a little funky. And then we're gonna be going to the nearest whole number. Okay. So we're gonna start again. So patient weighs 176 pounds. So we'll do 176 divided by 2.2. So just keep in mind for your guys' dosage test, you do need to know your conversions because that's the majority of what's on the very first dosage test. So definitely remember those. So 176 divided by 2.2, and that will give you 80 kg. So then we're going to divide it by 15 mg since that is our maximum safe dose number. So you'll multiply 80 by 15. And that will give you 12. And that'll give you 1200 mg. And that's pretty much it. I would say that's the final answer, but since he's saying divided every 12 hours, we're also just going to divide this by 2, just in case that is the final answer. And that will give you 600 mg. So if, we'll write them right here. So if it's divided equally every 12, your answer will be 600 mg. If it's just asking per day, which is what this is saying, your answer will be 1200 mg. So I would just write both of these just in case, and then you could definitely ask him for some clarification, because I know for my mod, they didn't ever put questions like this. Anything that will have you divide, it's always going to say divided equally. So yeah, I know it's a little hard at first, but just keep in mind that practice makes perfect, and math is not going to go away. It's going to be here the entire program.